Now it comes to the one of the most exciting, challenging, and entertaining session. I think you learn from the circle a lot. And then, so you can think a table talk session is like a mini speech. It still have an opening, body, and conclusion. And when you think, you can think about conclusion, opening, and body that way. And each speakers, you have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to speak. So when our timer, when he raise on the green ball, it means you have 1 minute 30 seconds. When he raise on yellow ball, means you have 1 second. And when he raise on red ball, you have 30 seconds. Okay. So then you have to look at the timer. And then, so everyone have the opportunity to come to a stage to talk. So I will ask about 5 to 6 questions. So now is come to the first questions. I will repeat again. The first question is, if your company allow you to work at home 3 times a week, but a 10% monthly salary cut, would you like to reduce your salary in exchange for it? If your company allow you work at home 3 times a week, but a 10% monthly salary cut, would you like to exchange it for it? The first question comes to Aaron.
I think it's a very difficult question because, yes, the distance from my home to the office is very long. I take MRT to office. It takes 1 hour per day. So yes. Maybe maybe I can accept the suggestion, but because I will lost 10% of the salary. So originally I take a piece of paper to calculate the benefit and loss because I'm not sure it's good for me or bad for me. I think it's very hard to make the decision because I get used to take MRT to the office. Recently, I want to study English. I always wear the earphone yeah, I know. I have download over 10 study English apps. I always repeat the English conversation, and I get used to it every day. When I go to the office or when I get off work, I always listen to English conversation to make my pronunciation correctly. So I think it's a very good way to make me improve my English. But if my boss want to cut my 10% salary, I can always stay at home. But if I can't take the MRT, maybe I will forget to study English because I only choose the time when I taking MRT to study English. If you don't let me to take MRT, I don't know what time I can study English. So maybe I will reject the suggestion. Station master.
What a lousy
It comes to the question 2. When you buy a house or rent house, are you willing to spend more commute time in exchange for a bigger house or more comfortable housing environment? So when you buy a house or rent house, are you willing to spend more commute time to exchange for a bigger house or better housing environment? This question comes to Debbie.
So For me, I think I really consider my living condition my first priority before the distance between my company and my home, because I don't know, I feel like I can do a lot of stuff when I'm commuting, but I will feel so bad every day when I come home, even if it's very close to a very crappy place. Because it happened to me once last year when I was living in Xizhi, in a very old and very damp apartment. And every day when I come home, the environment was so bad that I don't feel happy at all when I get off work. But when I moved to Neihu, it's more friendly place, and the environment and the traffic situation is so much better. And I feel so relaxed after work. So that's my choice. I will choose the accommodation more than commute. Yeah, thank you.
And question 3, what will you or most of people commute are like in 2040? What will you or most of people commute be like in 2040? This question comes to team.
Thank you. Oh, 20 years. In 20 years, the near future, maybe near future, and I believe now we have a very high efficiency technical progress. I believe in 20 years, we can work, everyone can work at home. They can skip the commute because the internet, the telecom, now the telecom is so convenient. And in 20 years later, I believe the internet, we can see the true people in front of us by the 3D projector. Yeah, I believe this will be true. So you can sit in the home, put on your VR glass or something like that, or a very simple gadget, and you will see your boss. You can take meeting, you can do everything through the internet, and you don't need to walk to the company, you don't need to go to the company by bus, by MRT, take 1 hour long time, oh, so too long. And for me, I always ride motorcycle to the company, and sometimes it takes 1 hour. Wow. And can you believe ride a motorcycle in Taipei City for 1 hour is a very terrible thing. So I hope and I can see in 2040 we don't need to commute to the company because all the company will in your VR glass. So, session master.
And now comes to question 4. Okay. Did you have any challenges to overcome to make your commute more enjoyable? Do you have any challenges to overcome to make your commute more enjoyable? So this question goes to Echo.
I think you choose the wrong person. First, I already retired, so I have no past experience. And may I know what the question is?
You cannot ask. Excuse me. Did you have any challenges to overcome to make your commute more enjoyable in the past?
Okay, I think I'm a kind of person to make a friend easily. Usually, I can make a friend very easily on the way to on bus or on the train, on the way to my office. And usually, I will ask my colleague to take the same bus to go with me. And then finally or lastly, I will invite my husband to take the same commute system with me. That's the last choice. Usually, I can easily to make a friend on the way to office or back home, and then I will go. I will invite my colleague to commute to take the same transportation and go home with me, and then lastly my husband. So it was all enjoying time. Thank you.
And the next question is, what are your commute choices? Do you suffer by commute? What are your commute choices? Do you suffer by commute? So this question goes to Angel.
When talking about commutes, I'm the right person to answer this question. Many years ago, but around 5 years ago, from then on, I commute from Keelung to Taipei for 10 years, since my senior high school life to the maybe 2 years of my work in Neihu. In the very beginning, because I live in Keelung after I born, so I didn't feel Keelung is a far place. So I commute from everywhere at least 1 hour. So it's a common thing for me. And from senior high school to college, I spend 2 hours, 4 hours per day, and 2 hours for the single one every day to commute. I don't think it's a big problem. Although I feel so suffering when I become busier and busier. One time I felt that I cannot stand for it anymore because I work overload in the very beginning. So I don't think I need to go home because I need to go to the office very soon. So I feel suffering at that time. But my parents kept telling me that if you cannot stand for a long commute from Keelung to Taipei, you are not my daughter. You are not good at facing the pressure. You are not the girl like a strawberry or a princess. I don't think you are that kind of person, right? So because of these sentences, I keep push myself to accept all this. Until one day I cannot stand for it, so I rent a house in Neihu, and I feel it's a heaven. So I live in heaven now. I work although I spend a lot of money on renting a house, and my parents broke their relationship with me because of this, but all nightmare has gone. I live in a heaven happily. So this is a good choice. Suffering has passed, and now I'm very happy.
Now it's come to the last question. So, do you think rent a house nearby your office it's better idea? Do you think to rent house nearby your office is a better idea? So this question goes to Michelle.
The question is rent a house near my office. Actually, before last year, I was working in Banqiao, and my home was in Neihu. It takes like 1 hour to 10 minutes to commute, single way. So two-way is like more than 2 hours. At that time, I was really thinking if I could have a house nearby that I
can save time from commuting. But later on, I found something activities to do on the MRT, like reading or using my laptop. Although in the busy time, I had to work on the MRT with the laptop. But my conclusion, okay, I don't think I will rent a house near my office because it will make me stay longer in the office. Maybe somehow extend working hours. Yeah, it's too convenient. But I think home is a place, like David said, to relax. It's a place to get away from work for some quiet time. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, it's true. Because our company is original in Da'an area and moved to Nehu area. So a lot of my coworkers, they live more nearby there. And then for me, because I rent house in Nehu, and then other people, they always drive and go back home at about 6:30. And my boss think I'm the person I can be tortured. Because yeah, I can stay in the office longer. So I think it's a good idea. And also because I always don't want to go out of the Nehu area. Because and if I go out of the Nehu area, I need to come back. I feel it's suffering. And then, so I think maybe it's not a good idea to live and workplace and your house is in the same area. But overall, I think it's all about your mindset. We need to adjust your mindset and to make your life is more enjoyable. Okay, let me return the control to the